All right, good morning, good evening, good night. It is another episode of the NFTYQ show. We're interviewing founders, leaders, special people in the NFT space, and I have one here with me, Tim Jooste, founder of Koin Games. We're going to talk a lot about what Koin Games Dev Squad is doing, Bloodline. They have so many things, updates, all of this stuff coming for this ecosystem, this universe, if you will. But I'm happy to have Tim on again here. Tim, how are you doing here in this month of December, man?
I'm doing amazing. Yeah, looking forward to the holidays. Had a good Thanksgiving with the family. I'm actually on the road right now, coming from Orlando. Nice hotel room. But yeah, I'm doing awesome. Doing amazing. Good to be on the show. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of KGDS in the chat. So you've got a lot of community members that are coming in, having a good time, talking about your cool looking room there. So we're going to have ourselves a great discussion, man. Like I said, for people out there that don't know what Koin Games Dev Squad is doing, we're going to get to that in a moment. I mean, recently you guys had the Battle Pass airdrop. Of course, you had the launch with your Avatar project earlier in the year. So you've been up to a lot of stuff, and you guys got a lot coming, some of which you can't even say live on air. That's what we were talking about before the episode went live. But just for the people that have no idea kind of what's going on with Koin Games and Koin Games Dev Squad, give a TLDR. What have you been up to, and what is the project?
Yeah, so what do you want me to start with first? Just the project itself, how we got in, or you want me to start with what we're up to right now?
So we had the origin talk on the last episode. So let's TLDR a little bit of the origin story for you, and then we'll move right into Koin Games Dev Squad, and we'll do that.
Yeah, so those who don't know me, I come from actually my degree is in theology, so I went to Bible college and was gonna use my life to make other people's lives better. And then I got into sales, and that has been an incredible journey in the sales world, sales environment. I got the privilege of starting to build teams and realized I was really good at it. And so I've built hundreds, and right now about 600 guys currently, and just huge sales teams that have had a lot of success, brought in hundreds of millions of dollars for the company that I work with. And it's been a really great journey, incredible. And and it's taught me a lot of skills on building culture, finding talent, developing people, and just really running a large organization. And but all the while, ever since I was a kid, I've loved video games. It's been a dream of mine to be able to make a video game. I was actually just recently talking with one of my friends who's part of the creation team, and he's heading up kind of our avatar naming thing in our Discord. If you guys have seen that, where our dev squad are actually naming the heroes that are going in our video game right now as we speak, which is so cool. But he's kind of heading all that up and working with the lore and some of the game mechanics. And we were just reminiscing when I met him, and I was 11 and he was 12. We were two nerds, not popular at all. Nobody hung out with us. We were just best friends. The two of us would sit at a table by ourselves at lunch, and we would talk about creating video games. And it's so cool now, all these years later in our 30s, to actually be doing it, to actually be part of building a game studio. So I've loved video games really since the first day I ever played them. And it's been a dream of mine to be a part of that industry. And about 4 years ago, I actually started writing a fiction book, and that's the lore that we're using for our game. So it's kind of all come together in an amazing way, where like my passions for story writing and game design and all of this have come full circle. And then my skill set in hiring people, relationships, community building, all that. So yeah, we jumped in at the beginning of the year, and with the idea, I brought on some really amazing guys from the crypto space, blockchain experts, everything from tokenomics to incubating ideas, to finding connections in the industry, VCs, guys that are really experienced in building actual blockchain protocols and working with the different chains that are out there. And we started just putting the team together. We found some amazing artists. Justin obviously is our lead brand manager, and then Andreas is our finishing artist on all the characters. And we formed the core team, and we just started building. And then you fast forward about 4 months into kind of just building ideas. I minted my first avatar, which was the Doge Pound. Do you remember what your first avatar was?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good. I would love to say like Bored Ape, but it definitely was not. Oh man, that is such a good question. Maybe hash masks. I think hash
Okay.
masks.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So I was a few months behind the train. I think Bored Apes are already at 6 each, which seems so cheap right now. I'm trying to remember how much
So
they were.
expensive at the time, though.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, for what you thought they were, but who has the foresight to see where it was going to go? But yeah, so I've minted Doge Pound, and at that time, I mean, they sold the Doge Pounds for 0.069, and and you join the Doge Pound community, and so I minted like 7 of them, and it was my first mint. I just didn't even understand what minting was. I remember searching my wallet for where my NFTs were. I couldn't find them. Then I went to OpenSea, and then there they were, and then I couldn't, anyway. And I just held on to them. I still have 5 of them right now, which is awesome, and they've done well. But but really, what the light bulb moment for me was getting in their community and realizing the genius behind this. That it wasn't about this picture of a dog. It was about the community, and it was about what was happening behind the scenes. And those guys are really good. Like, that's one of my favorite communities still to this day that I go in and interact in. And I realized that was what I was looking for. You guys probably have heard me if you've heard me talk about on other interviews, but we specifically named the company Koin Games because it's from the Greek word koinonia, which is community. So it literally means community games. And my whole idea was that, man, if I get the privilege of getting to make a game, should I not involve thousands of my friends in this process with me? And so that's when the Dev Squad idea was born, that we would launch an NFT. That NFT would give access to literally be our Dev Squad. They're an extension of Koin Games. That's why we call it the Koin Games Dev Squad. And so they're our development squad. And right now, like literally in our Dev Squad, as we speak, the community has named like 10 heroes already. They're naming like 2 to 3 a week now. They're even helping make design choices. When I get 2 to 3 images from my illustrators, I put them in the chat and I say, which one do you guys want? And they vote, and we then do the one the community wants. I mean, and how cool is that, right? So and there'll be so much more of that as time goes on, right?
Yeah, this is such an important point because it's really the distinguishing factor for you guys. You guys are building a game with the community, essentially. That's the huge narrative you're playing with, and I really, really am behind it. So you have Koin Games, a studio, essentially. You're building out Bloodline, which we'll touch on here in a second, but it's also with the Koin Games Dev Squad that goes along with the Avatar project. I would love for you to just give that elevator pitch to anybody out there right now. We've kind of made our way through the origin and now to Koin Games Dev Squad. What essentially does a new community member get when they join, or kind of just that pitch to them?
So when you join, you buy an avatar. There's 5,555 of them on the market. There's only about 6.5% for sale. So that's it. So that should tell you something, because we're not a hyped project, and yet our holders are not really selling, right? We got very few for sale, 6.5%. But the ones that are available, even if you just buy one, the first thing you get access to is the community itself, right? And so you're building the game with us as time goes on and other decisions are made with mechanics. Our whole idea is that we're going to build the structure of this house, and then we let the Dev Squad decorate it. They choose the furnishings, they choose the floors, the colors of the walls. I mean, they're like in there with us making decisions on a bunch of things. And about 2 days ago, I saw a guy just on his own. He put it in the chat. He said, man, it's so cool. I got to name 2 characters, because his name was chosen out of the 10 heroes. He submitted the winning name on 2 of them that was voted by the community. And you could just tell how proud he was that he literally named 2 characters that will go into lore and into this IP forever, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's the first thing. We've got some other cool stuff in our chat. We have a pretty active NFT alpha chat inside of Koin Games, and we also have a pretty active coin chat, DGen or regular coin chat. And so our community members have been like killing it with NFTs as well, just because we've got some really smart people. So for some, honestly, they join just to get access to those sub chats as well.
Yeah, I want to touch on the utility pieces here. You guys are launching a bunch of different features for these holders, right? You have the
Yeah.
staking, so there's gonna be a lot of people that come in here. They see the thumbnail. It says Battle Token Airdrop. That did already happen, so don't just leave the episode, the interview here if you haven't gotten that yet, because there's a ton of other things coming. You guys have, I believe, the Battle Token is going to be up for investing if you hold essentially some of these avatars and things like this. So definitely want to hit this utility piece, especially for those, I know we have a ton of community members here, but for those that still want to get in, maybe they missed the token airdrop, or the Battle Pass airdrop, what can they get involved in here in the next month to 2 months?
Yeah, so actually on the Battle Pass airdrop, the way that works, that was our first airdrop. We will be doing those almost every month to any new holders, so you're not missing out. If you buy one today, you'll get it in about a month. And what that's going to do is that's going to give you want to see the Battle Pass as our kind of fun utility stat card for everything to do with Koin Games. So we're in development of a mini game right now alongside the main game, because the main game will be a year and a half likely before it's fully ready for public release. We're building a AAA Supercell style game, so it's not fast.
It's not going to be ready in 2 months. Come on,
no,
ready by February.
The mini game will be ready in about 2 months though, so that's what's cool. So we understand this is a long journey. We understand NFTs move fast. We also want to release a AAA game. I'm really not concerned with competing with current crypto games. I want to compete with Supercell, and we're hiring a team. We're up to about 25 people now in the Koin Games, that work under the Koin Games umbrella. And we're hiring all the time. I mean, I actually just talked to a really, really, really experienced product developer who's worked for some huge Fortune 100 companies, a bunch of startups, and we're bringing them on, as of yesterday. And so we're hiring some of the top people in their industries, and really sparing no expense to bring on an amazing team that's going to help us bring this product to market, not just to compete with crypto games, but to compete with mainstream games. Because I believe no one has yet to really do that, make an amazing mainstream game that allows floods of people in and then introduces them to play to earn. And I think that's the future, really, right? So we're taking our time. We're going to release an amazing product. It'll likely take a year and a half. And so in the meantime, we've got this mini game. So the Battle Pass actually works initially with the mini game. It's almost your entry to the mini game. It'll be your stat card. So literally in the metadata of the Battle Pass, it's going to have your wins, your losses, your biggest victories, any points, any statistical things that come from the mini game will all be dynamically updated in the metadata of your Battle Pass, as well as your daily battle token. So we're starting kind of just a holder token that every day starting, we'll call it early January. If you own a Battle Pass and you own 5 avatars, those 5 avatars will give you 5 daily tokens, battle tokens on your Battle Pass. So you can almost see it like a credit card, right? And then those tokens will be used in the mini game. We're also going to be using those tokens for things like the swag that we're designing. We've got a shirt in production right now. Hoodie comes next. Hats come after that. So we've got a bunch of Koin Games, just fun things. So everything to do with the next 2 years as we just have fun as a community, the battle token will be that token. So it's not going to be a token on Uniswap or any of that. And it's different from the governance token. The governance token, the one that you can be able to purchase, is going to be called Koin, Koin. And that's actually the master token for the entire brand, not just Bloodline. So you've got the Battle Pass with the battle token, and it's just literally as long as you hold your avatars, you get 1 token per avatar per day on that Battle Pass. And so that's the connection to the mini game, and everything else we'll do during this kind of waiting period. The next utility that comes up early January is actually our first hero card drop. I don't know if you're doing any screen sharing. If you jump on our website, you can see it on koingames.io. But the first heroes that are going to be used in the game, Bloodline, those are coming out. The first wave of them are coming out in early January, and it's our first hero card drop. So imagine a pack of Pokemon cards with 5 cards inside. all randomized, different rarities. That's what's coming next. So we have these unopened, it'll be 5 NFTs inside of an NFT. And the first editions of this hero card sale, similar to how Splinterlands or God Unchained or any of those delivered their hero cards, we'll be delivering those, but the first editions will only be purchasable by whitelisted avatar holders. So I'm basically rewarding avatar holders with the ability to buy first editions. The public will not be able to buy first editions.
Gotcha. Okay. So I want to get into some of these details a little bit more. I feel like I need a notepad to kind of keep up. So as far as the token is concerned, I think the dual token system we've seen in other ecosystems, right? Axie has the AXS token, which is like essentially the governance token, and then SLP. Now, is this going to be a ERC20 or I know you guys are potentially working with Polygon as well. Is this going to be a token that's on the blockchain, or is this going to be essentially like points within the game system?
So the great question. So when the game finally releases, there'll be 2 tokens. There'll be an internal token, which will be used inside the game. It will be an ERC20 token like SLP, but we'll have far more uses for it than current, SLP's model has. And you'll be able to earn that by playing the game. And that'll be called the Battle Token. And that'll be a strictly consumable in-game token. Then you'll have your governance token. We're actually following a much similar model to Illuvium's model, where it's truly a decentralized ownership of the game, where the DAO controls all decisions for the game, and owning ILV gives you the ability to vote on everything that happens. And all profits from Bloodline go into a vault that is controlled by the DAO, and the DAO decides how that's used to buy back ILV in their case, and then distribute it into the staking pool, the tournament pool, those things. So we're following that model for Koin. So Koin will really be owned by the DAO, by the community. I'm not going to be the owner really of Koin, Koin Games. It's going to be the DAO. I'll obviously participate in that, likely be on the council, but it's going to be, I truly want the players to own this process, right? And the true fans. And that's part of why I'm making it open for fans to invest early in that, because even though obviously I love our VC partners, we're already in talks with quite a few that are very excited to be a part of the project. I really want equal parts where it's, amazing strategic partners that are in it for the long haul, that are going to bring value to our community, and the community itself that come together to direct and steer this project into a glorious future. So, so we have 2 tokens, Battle and Koin. Koin will represent the DAO. It's strictly governance and it's decision making on Koin Games, everything Koin Games, including future games. The Koin token is going to branch way further than Bloodline. Bloodline's just our first game. Yep. The Battle token will be the in-game token inside of Bloodline, and that will be produced by playing rewards, tournaments. You'll be able to use it to buy into tournaments. You'll use it to create NFTs inside the game. You use it to get skins. It's everything. Everything inside the game will be using Battle. Now, in its current state, Battle is simply a point allocation that'll be added to that Battle Pass. So it's not going to be an ERC20 token until the release of the game. So we are starting with it as simply a metadata item on the Battle Pass. So imagine your Battle Pass updates, you start playing the mini game, you win 5 games in a row. It tells your Battle Pass you now have 1,000 tokens. Yeah. You've got a 5-win streak. You've got 10 wins, 4 losses. You know what I mean? And so it's just for simplicity's sake, it's not going to be a token that can be sold on Uniswap or any of that until the release of the game.
Gotcha. Okay, that was the main portion I was talking about. It's like one of my main goals, not to get my guests in trouble. Of course, you have to follow all these different regulations. But yeah, if it's an ERC20 eventually, even if you guys don't launch the token, right? It could the community member could launch the pool or something like that. So yeah.
Correct. Yeah, we will not be launching an ERC20. For us, that token is strictly an in-game token, consumable. Obviously, what people do with it after that is up to them. But yes. Yeah, okay. We're building for the future from a legal standpoint, and I believe this 2 token model that are totally separate Axie's model gets really blurry legally with involving the governance token inside the game with the in-game token. It's going to be hard to truly defend that long term. Whereas I believe the model we're building for is to have a clean, legal standpoint 15, 20 years from now. That way people can feel safe being a part of our company and being a part of the journey, buying into the DAO token, because they're going to help shape a company by owning that token that's going to be fine legally for 15, 20, 30 years, however long we want to, pass it down to our kids type thing. So yeah,
it is a bit sad that in this environment where we're really innovating, we have to worry so much about this regulation stuff. We can hop into that conversation later in the episode, because I still want to really touch on some of the things you guys are doing. So you mentioned the hero cards.
Yes.
And as well as the battle pass. You said the battle pass isn't just a one airdrop situation. I kind of want to get the details for maybe any prospective buyers out there or people that are interested. So if let's touch on the battle pass first then. So the battle pass drop already happened to avatar holders.
Yes.
How does the next one work? Do avatar holders get a second drop, or do you have to be a new member? How is that going to work specifically?
You only need one battle pass for 20 avatars, 10 avatars, 5 avatars, 1 avatar. What it's going to do is daily we run a script. We look where the battle passes are, we look where the avatars are, and we just assign the free token, the free battle token, to the battle pass for however many avatars are in the same wallet with it. So having multiple battle passes is kind of useless, because you're just spreading out your tokens almost on more. It's like having multiple bank accounts with money just separated versus one bank account with all of it in the same bank account. It's really the same. And so what's the purpose of having it spread out? So the battle pass derives its value as a stat card really from the avatars it's connected to. So we will be just airdropping them. We just barely airdropped our last one about a week ago or 3 days ago, something like that. Time's been flying. So we haven't set a date for when we'll do the next one, but we're looking at about a month. So about a month, we'll say, hey, if you want to get in, or if you are a new owner, your battle pass will be in your wallet, next Monday or whatever, and we'll mention the date, and we'll be sending them to just new holders. So basically, we'll just scan the wallets that have avatars in them that don't have battle passes in them, and we'll just drop those battle passes in. Because the battle pass, again, separated from an avatar, has no value. It's not going to get any tokens. It's like a useless, cool-looking graphic. There's no point in selling a battle pass. It's in and of itself, it doesn't contain value. And in fact, if you do sell your battle pass, it wipes the data. So we have an auto wiping feature. So so it carries nothing with it. So it's really just a cool looking graphic. It derives its value from the avatars it's linked to. So to answer your question, if you're a new holder, you buy one today, you buy one right now, you'll get your battle pass soon. The battle pass will really only have functionality when the mini game comes out towards the end of January anyway. So it was more just to get it out there. They will start getting tokens, starting around the 1st of January. So that's when that will kick in. So we'll likely do another battle pass airdrop right before the tokens start kicking in. So then into hero cards. So hero cards are our heroes, right? So in our game, Bloodline, it starts as a deck building game where essentially you have these cards and you customize your deck. There are 6 different clans. We've got nature and storm, fire and ice, and light and dark. And they have Greek names to them that I actually always forget. But anyway, they're very cool names. But we've got So we got these 6 clans. They all will function slightly differently. They're gonna have different heroes on them. Within the 6 clans are represented 7 classes of warrior, or whatever you want to call it, 7 classes. And they're the typical classes that you're used to. You've got your hunter, your rogue, your 3 caster classes, which are your mage, your enchanter, and your healer, and then your warrior and your guardian. So those are your 7 classes. We could add an 8th. I've played a warlock in World of Warcraft. That's actually my favorite class. We likely will add additional hero classes down the line. We're starting with 7. Okay. So seven classes across these 6 clans. And so when you build your deck, imagine World of Warcraft where you spec down a tree. So imagine that you go, all right, I really love the nature clan. I love their passive health regeneration. So I'm going to focus on that style of deck. So I'm basically going to build out a 12 card deck of all nature class people, and I'm gonna basically go 3 points down the tree. So every 4 cards gets you a point, and it enhances your nature cards. So you have that choice. Do I go 8 nature cards and I get 2 bonuses? Do I go 12 and I get 3? And you kind of decide the composition of your deck. And then you're obviously going to have a secondary. So you might build a nature fire deck, let's call it, right? And you go heavy on the nature side, lighter on the fire side. And then obviously within that, you're also deciding, do I go heavy on warriors and rogues, or hunters and mages, or, you know, whatever combo of both classes and clans. So you've got basically this deck building concept. You'll put it together, a deck of about 24 cards. When you actually enter the battlefield, though, it turns into a 3D rendered game. So if you can think of Clash Royale, where you're dropping your little, have you played Clash Royale from Supercell?
I can look at it. You saying that makes me think like TFT. Like that's where my mind goes. But...
So it's actually would be like a combination of Teamfight Tactics, Dota Underlords, those things, as well as you know, a Clash game like Clash Royale, where you've got this 3D board and you're dropping your characters on that board. And so the deck will shuffle. So you've put together this amazing deck. You spent hours crafting the perfect deck, collecting the cards you want, figuring out what clans and class combinations you love. And then when you get in the actual game, they shuffle that deck and they give you, 7 choices of cards, and you decide which 3 you're going to deploy in round 1. And it's a very fast-paced game. It'll have about a 30-second timer to decide which guys you're dropping on the board. Are you going to put in, a rogue, and a hunter, and, do a certain strategy there? Are you going to go heavy on, and it's obviously you're having to use the 7 cards that the shuffler gave you, right?
Gotcha.
So, and then the from there, I mean, there's a lot of strategy in where you place them, what combos of classes you use. You have a reshuffle mechanic once per match. It's a 5-round match. And you have a pinning option where you can pin a card to save it for the next shuffle. And so we're going to see a lot of a push and pull kind of mechanic where you might decide, man, I got a really crappy shuffle on this first round. I'm going to just deploy a couple random guys, but I'm going to pin this really good card for the next round because I'm going to go hard on round 2. Now your opponent might think the same thing. So he throws round 1 as well. You end up losing it, but he's ready for round 2 with his monster squad, and you are as well. And then the game gets more intense through the 5 rounds because you start with 3 characters, then you go to 4, then you go to 5, and you have more mana to deploy higher level cards. So it's going to intensify, and a match will be done in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And so, so it's going to be fun.
I love the complexity that comes with obviously PvP games, of course,
yes.
That human element, but the RNG that's involved, although it can trigger me sometimes, definitely is something that's awesome when it comes to like those TFT games. So I'm excited for this. I'm excited for, and that's Bloodline, the game that's going to be released down the road, correct?
Yes. Okay. So the hero cards are your heroes. So the benefit of being a part of like the whitelist, for instance, and owning an avatar is that we are going to be releasing our first wave is the Nature versus Storm clan. And that's kind of our first, dual lineup. So coming in early January, we'll have 30 heroes total that we're releasing, 15 and 15. They're going to be randomly put in these packs of cards, and they come in 5 levels of rarity. And in our whitelist first editions, those are going to be, they're going to say first edition. They'll be like buying a first edition Pokemon card. They're going to be in the most limited quantities, and they'll even have a special kind of aesthetic to them in the video game. So when you load into the video game 4 years from now, you'll know you're up against a guy who's been there from the beginning, because his players will have a slight variant to them that you'll know that's a first edition warrior. That's a first edition, a big giant golem guy, right? Mm-hmm. Even though we might re-release that character, he's not going to be the same. And so there'll be some really cool stuff with that. So those first edition packs, there'll be about $15 to purchase a pack of 5 heroes. And so we're, you know, making them really easy to jump into. And if you get a legendary hero inside of there, you'll have one of only 10 legendaries, you know, in the game that you can have. And so those first editions, the first wave, the second wave, which will be fire versus ice, and then the third wave, which will be dark versus light, that's all upcoming. And the only people able to purchase the first editions are the avatar holders. So that's a benefit that I wanted to give to people, because typically those are collector's items that fetch higher prices in the future. My Splinter Cell cards that I bought 4 months ago, it was the 4th editions, like the Untamed. I don't know how familiar you are with Splinterlands, but I bought $1,000 worth of Splinterland cards 4 months ago, and right now they're running at $100 a pack, you know. And yeah, so it's cool. It's like 50 grand from $1,000. So and so not that I'm saying that our cards will do that, but yeah, it's, you know, it's cool to be able to get in on early packs of cards. And so we will have public releases of these cards to non-avatar holders, but they will have worse rates of drop for the rare ones, and some other differences as well that I'm going to reserve just for our holders. So
you're doing so much for your holders, and like these releases have been back to back to back, like with the airdrop, as well as a lot of these announcements that you're having with avatar staking and all these things that you're doing for the utility of the project. I see like you guys are absolutely putting in work, right? Because there's these other PFP projects, these avatar projects, where you're just like, okay, you guys launched, like where is the utility that you promised in the roadmap? You guys are getting after it. So and it's only looks like it's only gonna increase here in 2022. But I do want to pause real quick. We do have a lot of community members here in the chat that have some questions. I have Andre Bosch, though, that is saying, is Tim locked in a closet? Is he okay? Seems like he's sending subtle distress signals with his hands. As someone who talks with his hands, I take offense to that.
Yeah, I can't help it. I've been in sales my whole life, and so I'm a talker with my hands for sure. You know, I'm locked in the bedroom part of this hotel room. My kids are homeschooling in the room behind us. I actually think one of them might be knocking on the door. They might need to use the bathroom, so I may have to get up and go over there for a second. But
no worries.
Yeah, that actually sounds
I can carry this for a second, guys. So again, if you're just coming in right now, this is the NFTYQ show. We have a lot of founders, creators in the space who are locked in closets just like Tim that need to get the word out about the project. So we have this on video and audio form too. You guys can go in the description, Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff. But I want to give a quick shout out to a lot of people in chat. Patrick Starr, Hash Rhymes, Chillo, looks like Jan Meza is in chat. A lot of good morning. So if you want to hit a good morning, please do there in the poll. But yeah, it's extremely good episode so far. Let's hop into avatar staking real quick. It's like one of the last details I wanted to hit on other than the mini game. What is avatar staking, and what is going on with the mini game? When can we expect that?
So, so there's two separate things, and I don't know if I was ready to totally talk about avatar staking today. There's two different concepts going around, but I think I'll just go ahead and break the news, and we'll just make it official now. So let me actually let me tell the community I'm live. We actually never announced it, I guess, inside of our channel. But yeah, so there's two things. So you know, there was the idea that when you stake your actual avatars, that's how you're going to earn the battle token. We've realized that kind of defeats a little bit of the purpose, because when you stake an avatar, you have to send it out of your wallet and lock it up in a contract. So then you don't get to look at it in your wallet, you know? And I think part of the fun of owning these avatars, at least for me, I've purchased now close to 700 different, almost 700. I might get 680 something in my wallet full of just mostly nonsense and some good buys. But I love looking at them, right? I mean, you know, there's that ownership element of just like, hey, I own this. This is awesome. So we actually decided we didn't want to require staking of the avatar to get the daily battle token. The idea was, you know, delist December, get everyone to delist, but we already have so few listed, it doesn't really matter. So we then, so avatar staking in the sense of getting the battle token, you won't need to do that. That's not happening anymore. You'll be able to just hold the the battle pass in your wallet with your avatars, and every day they're in there, it's going to get you that battle token. Got a phone here ringing, and so let me hang this up here.
Tim's is escaping right now, guys.
So that's the first part, and so that's separate. We are going to have avatar staking when the game comes out, because if you're following along, I really do believe that we have put more utility into our avatars, more benefits to holders than almost any project out there, to be honest. I think if people really understand that the ability to buy into the governance token earlier than the public by being a holder is an amazing opportunity. And the whitelist for first edition cards, where it's not just this crazy scramble and the general public can buy in, but really it's just avatar holders that get first editions. Everyone else gets the normal editions, and all these benefits along the way, and plus some surprises I haven't even talked about. I'm trying to make our avatar holders just basically decide, like, I will never sell anything ever, right? And so that's really the first thing. But I have, one of the questions that's come up in my community, they're like, Tim, okay, you've loaded up so much into these avatars, holding them, that, likely we're going to create really some very cool things once supply shock hits and all that. And people realize, like, all the benefits they're getting inside of holding. But the one question is, like, well, what happens when the game comes out and we've got our first editions, we've bought the governance token, we've done all of it. Then what happens? You see the straight line down as people liquidate their avatars, because then what's the purpose of owning them? So one, when you do own them in the future, you get access to, there will be a skin in the game. So how, like, have you played around with the web the new what is it called?
That is making the rounds so quickly. Web3 World or something like that.
I think so. Yeah. So obviously ours is not a pixelated game, but there'll be this open world area in our game connected to the battle game where you can run around with your actual created avatar, which is separate from your heroes. And you'll be able to equip him with a skin. Like, imagine running around in downtown World of Warcraft, and you've got on a
alliance. You got to tell me which one.
Downtown,
which one.
I was alliance. I was always alliance.
Same.
Okay, yeah. I was an alliance warlock, a little gnome, that was my main. That was my main character.
That was my first character too. I remember.
Yeah,
good times.
Yeah, for PvP, that was my guy, and I did really good in raids as well. But So anyway, so imagine running. What's that?
Totally threw you off your game. Sorry.
Yeah. I gave you a bunch of good memories and feelings back there. So you're imagine running around in a downtown area inside our game world where you're going to go do your crafting of NFTs, where you craft weapons for your avatar that affect your deck of heroes. Because that's one of the mechanics I didn't really get into that is a big part of it that sets us apart from even Dota underlords and all that, is you have your own avatar. And when you equip, let's say, a mage's staff to him, all the mages in your deck of 24 cards get a buff or a new ability. When you choose to equip a giant warrior's weapon to your created dude, the heroes in your deck that correspond with the same class, they get a buff. So you have this equipment slot, an armor slot, and a pet slot that you equip to your avatar that totally rearrange your entire deck of 24 cards. And so it breathes new life into this deck that you've created by just creating a better axe or something that you equip to your dude.
It reminds me a little bit of Total War, where the commander could actually have his attributes go on to his soldiers.
Yes, you got it. Yep. Yeah. So almost like in Hearthstone, you have the main kind of guy that you choose to go to battle with and pair him up with your deck. But the difference is that you created that guy and you can change what you equip to him. Mm-hmm. And that gives you a different strategy in the battle. So actually, let's say you and I are about to face off and we load into the game. I'm going to look across the map, the little chessboard, and I'm going to see your dude, your character next to your army of 3 to 4 guys or whatever. And I'm going to see what weapon he's holding. and I'm going to see what armor he's wearing and what pet is next to him. And I'm going to be able to tell that you're probably a fire focused deck with a lot of warriors and a lot of mages, because maybe you're wearing a mage's cloak or outfit, and you've got a giant axe on your back. So it's going to look ridiculous, but awesome. And you've got a fire breathing dragon next to you. So I know that you're a fire deck who has a lot of mages and a lot of warriors in the deck based on what you chose to attach to your avatar. And I know that those are going to be likely the majority of the heroes that come out in your deck. Now that may not, I mean, I'm only seeing that once I load in, but it immediately might change a little bit of my strategy, right? And so it's gonna be really fun. So anyway, so with all that being said, there will be an open world area initially, a social area on a server that other players will be involved in, that you'll be able to run around and go craft your weapons, breed your pets, put stuff up on the marketplace for sale. So imagine just a little downtown World of Warcraft area initially, and the guild halls will be in there as well. And so in the different guilds that you choose to be a part of.
It's a low-hanging fruit. Okay, I'm definitely not making much effort with this question, but I hear downtown, I hear all of these like essentially environments. Is there going to be some type of land involved in this universe?
Yes. So we are still working out the details of how we'll do that, but yes. So for sure there will be. There'll be guilds as well as land. No announcements on that yet, but we have that in the works. So yeah, it'll be pretty fun.
I did that for you guys at home, by the way.
Yeah. For me, I'm just a total gaming nerd at heart, and as you can tell, I get so excited about this. And so, if it was part of my gaming childhood, I am definitely using it as inspiration in what we're building for this. The sky's the limit. So, so long story short, your heroes, the wave of hero cards will come in. You'll be able to purchase those over the next, the first wave comes in January. The next wave will be mid-year, and then the next one towards the end of the next year. And again, avatar holders get to benefit. But what I was getting to originally was that I'm aware of the fact that, like, what is the utility to owning this avatar once the game is released? Once all the first edition heroes are sold, once the governance token, like, why still hold this avatar other than nostalgia that you have it? So one, you can equip it as a special skin in the game, and there's only 5,555 of these that are designed kind of uniquely. So imagine running around in the little downtown area and you're dressed how your avatar is dressed, right? But beyond that, we're going to have a form of avatar staking where you will actually stake your avatar. It'll link to the game, and we will reward you as if you're staking the governance token. So that's going to be pretty cool. I'm not going to dive into the exact value of that, but you can kind of use your mind. But the idea is that you're going to get essentially endless governance token rewards from the staking pool by just linking your avatar. So your avatars actually will represent a portion of governance tokens, no different than if you're staking the governance token, like ILV does it, where they stake the token, they get more tokens. So a pretty simple concept, but I think really, really cool.
Yeah, if you're at home and you're wondering whether to get into Koin Games, non-investment advice, do your own research, but like everything that you're mentioning here, where you're talking about, oh, Axie does this, Illuvium does this, you guys are attempting to really hit that kind of same mark, right? And you're doing it
100%.
You're doing it almost like Illuvium didn't come out and like launch a PFP project. I like the way that you guys are doing it from like a grassroots kind of like environment. I really do. I think it's a cool little timeline that you're gonna have when we look back in like 2 or 3 years. So
I agree 100%. And I think that we are very under the radar, but I believe that it's going to be pretty special. And I think the guys in our community already understand that, hence why you're seeing so few for sale. I mean, we literally have 6.5% of total supply even available on the market. There's something like 120 total avatars available under 1 ETH. And so that's nothing. Nothing. So yeah, I think it's definitely very early, but it's getting exciting. So so what comes up next is our hero cards, and those will be available soon. And, guys that are in this to play the game, they can buy the cards. Guys that are in this just to be a part of it, almost, predicting that being invested in games is a smart move. They can buy the card packs and not open them, like I've done with my Splinterland card packs. They're not open; they're still unopened, and I'm still just holding them. So, but yeah, I mean, it's fun, and I truly believe, and this is just getting into the broader space, like personally, not in financial advice, but I'm almost not invested in anything in crypto that doesn't involve games anymore, because to me, that is the future of what's going to bring in the masses, right? You have this idea that you have this growing ecosystem of decentralized freedom that represents in crypto, but what is really going to be the giant on-ramps for the regular person, the guy down the street, your friends at work, your friends at school, whoever you're watching, all the normie people that are not in this, how do they come into this? And to me, it's NFTs and it's gaming. It's those two on-ramps that are the largest. They're the widest, right? DeFi will bring people in, Bitcoin will bring people in, meme coins will bring people in, but I don't think there's anything like NFTs, collectibles, and gaming that's going to be just these giant vacuums of people flooding into gaming. And so a lot of projects will die along the way. I'm already looking at my wallet going, why did I buy those 400? Yeah, those 400. We've actually started this thing in the chat, just for you guys that know. We started what we call Thursday Night Live, because we're in this thing for a long time. We want to hang out. So every Thursday, it's actually at 3 p.m. Eastern. We go live and we do trivia. Like last week, we played like 4-second clips from old video game soundtracks, and people had to guess. And the first one to guess it got a point. And then the winners, they're winning the illiquid NFTs from my personal wallet. So, so it's my way of getting rid of NFTs before Twitter releases their collectibles tab, because I'm embarrassed to link my wallet to the tab and be like, this is what I spent money on. So anyway,
I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, gamers, I think inherently get the value prop, right? Like the split between revenue for gamers and game companies has always been 100% for the game companies and 0%. And they have full control, so it's super easy. And it's not some abstract microeconomic theory stuff. That it's games, and
it's just art, so simple.
It's music. So dude,
it's easy.
Honestly, Tim, I want to have you on here on the network here in like the next, I would say, month, maybe a month and a half. Like maybe we can get you on NFT Live, because we don't have enough time here. I've got a hard stop here at the end of the hour, but I'm sure you do. So want to ask a couple more lightning questions from the community here. What platforms is Bloodline focusing on? I think that's probably meaning like mobile or Mac.
Yeah, it'll come out as a web-based first, then mobile second.
Okay.
So yep.
Okay, will crossplay be a thing?
That's a great question. I would, we may, because we're going to have to separate people anyway by servers, just like World of Warcraft did. We likely will have servers that are based on just the one platform, is what I'm guessing. You'll choose a server based on the platform you use, but I guess, in truth, you'll want to be able to access your game via mobile and browser. So yeah, I think we'll do, between mobile and browser crossplay. I don't think we'll ever be a console game though. That's no reason
to at this point, but so I have a couple more minutes here, guys. Get your questions in for Tim. This is the beauty of doing it live, although everything's recorded, like I said. Get more questions in. This is like a lightning round. I have one here from myself. Book recommendation. Could be crypto, non-crypto. What do you got?
My favorite non-crypto book outside of the Bible is The Happiness Advantage by Sean Accor. It's a phenomenal book that will change your brain in an amazing way. And the simple concept is that happiness comes before success, not the other way around. So it's the thought on how to be just happy right now where you are, and that is actually part of the process of becoming better anyway. And he tells so many stories. It's one of my favorite books. I use stories from that book in every part of my life. And I've read that book probably 5 or 6 times, and outside of the Bible, I've never read any book really more than once. And so as far as fiction books go, the Harry Potter series was pretty awesome. I enjoyed that. I like Hunger Games a ton. I really enjoyed Hunger Games. Ender's Game for sure. Really enjoyed that one. All the Lord of the Rings series. I really enjoyed those. Those will be probably the main fiction books that I really enjoyed a ton. The Maze Runner series, all of that stuff.
Gotcha.
I love dystopian, futuristic fantasy stuff. Yeah.
I love it too, man. I think we're kindred spirits for sure. Tony Edwards is in chat asking, will Avatar holders get priority access to pack sales? And this will be the last question before we let you leave. Yeah, so Avatar holders clearly get priority access to all the first editions. Like, first editions will not be sold to the general public as of right now. So what happens is, let's say you own an Avatar and we are releasing, let's call it, our calculation is going to be about 10 packs per Avatar you hold over the course of about a year and a bit. So between the 6 clans that we're dropping. So first one is Nature versus Storm, 3 packs. Light versus dark, 3 packs, fire and ice, 3 packs, and then a bonus pack. But all first edition limited edition heroes will only be available. You will have to have an Avatar to link your wallet to purchase. Like, you will not be able to buy it unless you're an Avatar holder. In the second round of public, I don't think we'll be doing any priority. So when we go full public of the regular editions, that'll just be available for Avatar holders to buy more if they want, and then the regular public. All right, there you go. Founder of Koin Games here and Koin Games Dev Squad, Tim Jooste. Tim, you did an absolutely fantastic job. Like I said, a month from now, likely get you on the network again, because these are fantastic. You guys have so many things going on. I'm a holder. I'd love to come chat just on general NFTs, where the market's going. I mean, I'm a degen myself, as you can tell, right? So tell some stories. Got some fun ones that have happened in the last month or two that would be entertaining to listen. So yeah, I'll come on the show whenever you want me. Love it, man. I'll definitely be in contact with you. We'll have you on the show, and we'll also send somebody to find out if you are in a room somewhere and need help. So I'll be doing that. But sounds good, guys. This was an amazing conversation. This is the NFTYQ show. I do it every Wednesday and Thursday live with founders, influencers, and just great people in the space. Tim being one of them. So thank you for stopping by today. Our vibe, our tribe. To the lads that are in the house today, and KGDS. Is that your guys'? Yeah. Yep. Nice, KGDS. Man. Yeah. Awesome, guys. All right. Well, I'll catch you guys next time. NFT Live is tomorrow. I'll see you there. Bye. Later.